Now this is one of the little secrets of sea fishing. Rich should join me now, I'm going to set up. The sea's coming in. That's the rods out, ready to rock and roll. Oh, starts to get darker now. Again, off on another adventure on the motorway, going over to Blackpool. It's quite close to where I live, so it's the most practical place to go fishing. I want to go and sea fishing. I do want to go carp fishing. I keep on saying this and I'm going on and on and on, but the reason why I've not been going is Debs, who usually goes fishing with, she's got Reynard's disease, which means she gets really cold fingers. So she only likes to go carp fishing now when it's warm, and I get that, you understand that. And it's not really fair for me to go on my own when we live in two separate houses and only get to see each other at weekends. So when I go sea fishing, it's after I've been to Debs, and then I'll just disappear to the coast on the Sunday afternoon to go sea fishing. And that's the only time I get to go at the moment. But later on we'll get to do some carp fishing, promise, I do promise you. But anyway, it's really good to see you again, really is. And without further ado, I'm going to make my way to the coast. 5 bar gate, I think, in Cleveleys, and put a video together. So we'll see you in a little while. Right, I'm here now. Zoom out a little bit. I'm going to have a drink of tea. My tea, which is currently going to be some cheese rolls from Asda, of all places. That's what I'm going to have for tea. What's this video going to be about? Well, there's 2 parts to this video, 3 parts actually. There's this video now, which is going to be about rough ground and gullies, and there's a lot of hands going in, isn't there? But where to find the fish on an open beach where you've got sandbanks and that kind of thing. So now I'm down by the beach. How I'm going to crack on with this? I'm very early for the tide. It gives me a chance to look at the gullies that I want to fish on. Now, I'm going to be going for rays, and on the second rod it's going to be a 2-hook flapper loop rig. Cast into this point here, this gully here in the rough ground. Why am I fishing the rough ground? Well, that's where all the small crabs, the shrimp, everything that gets pushed in from the sea finishes up at this bank behind me and sits in here. But over on this point over here, about 120 yards out, is a sandbank there. So that's water's gonna push over the sandbank, bring any worm or anything with debris with it, and the rays are gonna sit on the top of there. So hopefully, if I'm lucky, fingers crossed, I'm gonna pick a ray up. That's what I'm gonna be doing. Now this is one of the little secrets of sea fishing, especially surf fishing. It's to find areas of the beach that the water is flooding in. As you can see here, this is actually a flooding channel now, a gully that's coming in and pushing all the debris, the fish, the bass, the plaice, everything into where it needs to be fishing. If we look down this part of the beach now, you can see little gullies starting to form, but then we've got this massive sandbank over there. So that's where the rays and everything comes over into the gully that I'm going to be fishing. It's just over there. So from here, this gully here to that gully there is nearly 300 yards. So I'm not going to be able to hit that area, but I can get into the gully past that point over there, which is going to be about 150 yards. That's quite a chuck. So I'm going to opt to fish behind me in the gully over there at the bottom of the beach, at the shelf of the beach, where the water's going to rush in on high tide, and along that gully is where the bass, the whiting and flounders will go in to try and pick the crabs, the small crustaceans, the shrimp at the bottom of that shelf. Let's have a look along the beach so you can see what I'm talking about. Now, over there you can see the sandbank. You see it there? There's the sandbank, and this is the gully which is coming in. Can you see it? And that's the ocean. It's currently flooding in, as you can see here. These are the kind of things you need to look for when you're doing this kind of fishing. Very important that you find them. Coming in at a heck of a rate as well. So while I've just been standing here now, a couple of minutes, it's coming already about 2 or 3 meters. Gives you an idea. So when you're fishing a low water mark as well, be careful, because these gullies can fill in behind you very quickly, and that is a concern. Now some guys fish the gullies all the way back, going for the fish that's travelling along the gullies. That's one little tip. It took me a couple of years to realise that. Again, as you look at here, there's a groin over there, which is, if you look here, there's a groin there, big long sandbar, some guys playing golf just back there, and this is a second gully. Now, when you go out on a low water mark like this is Cleveleys beach, further out there's parts of the beach which is where all the worm are. You know, your blowhug, your yellowtail, that kind of thing. That's where people pump the baits from. So low water mark on this, especially at night, is fantastic at low water, because you're fishing over them worm beds. That's one of the areas you want to be fishing. Got to be careful now because it's starting to fill in behind me, as you can see. So it also doesn't need to be that complicated. Keep your rigs simple, a running lead, a worm baits are good. Nice and simple rigs, fishing off the shoreline, but fishing to them gullies. Now this is another feature to come to. On this beach, if you cast far enough, you can come past the actual first gully and fish right on the top of this sandbar here. If you can fish on the top of here, the rays will come up in here. Flat fish like to cover the sand and go over, then go onto the rough ground, picking the shrimp up, crustaceans that are in the water. And if you can do that effectively by understanding it, you've got a better chance. Now sometimes you fish, there's just no fish there. It just works that way. But most of the time, by following those simple principles of finding gullies where the water travels in, sandbars, just at the back of the gullies, you've got a good chance of catching. You really have. Now these are the kind of places I'm looking for, within casting distance from the shoreline. I'm looking for these strips of water that fill in behind me, plenty of rocks, slightly rough ground, which is nice and clear, and the bass, the cod and everything like that will travel not too far from the shore along that. And that goes right the way down. That's back 5 bar gate over there. It goes out to sea like the gully we've just been looking at. Fantastic little spot. Now, as you can see here, there's the sandbar. You come over the race, come over the sandbar, feed in that kind of area. Everything that comes up the beach gets washed back out into the sandbar, and they pick up the bits and pieces. Along this area in the slightly rough ground, I want to be fishing in there and try and pick a fish up. Now, my suggestion is, before you start fishing and you get the chance, have a look and find out where all these gullies are, because it's imperative that you look and find out. One little note here is they change week in, week out, depending on the storms that hit the beach. So where you find a little pot of treasure one week, the next week it's completely gone. I found that in the last year as well. And this is why I'm finding sea fishing really exciting. It's never the same each day. It's fun, it's exciting, you don't know what you're going to catch. On this little mark I'm fishing now, going to be fishing tonight. The first time I fished this beach, I caught a taupe. A little pup taupe, about so big, I caught a taupe. The next time I come, I caught a ray, nearly 10 pound thornback. And we've had bass, we've had cod, whiting, plaice. It's brilliant. And there's also smooth hounds coming this beach as well. So bear in mind where you're fishing, check the marks out. They call them marks, by the way. It's like a mark on the map if you don't know. and just come down and enjoy yourself. That's that. Rich is joining me now. I'm going to set up. The sea's coming in. I'm going to see what we're going to catch. So we've taken a look at where we're going to be fishing. We've got an understanding of that. And then next, let's get the rods out and see if we can catch something. Right, that's the rods out. Ready to rock and roll. Bit of change of rods on this one. I've got an Abu Premier and I've got an Abu Sovereign Beach. One's going to be fishing on a fish bait and one's going to be fishing on worm on a loop rig. Size 1 hook on the loop rig and size 3 to 4 top hook being a circle up on a penny puddle. Hopefully the rays will come in tonight and we'll get some mixed species. Who knows? Who knows? We can only try, can't we? We can only try. Stick your multipliers up your arse, he says.
Yeah, well.
Stick your flatfish up your arse, he says.
And here we are doing both. No, I'm really enjoying it. I mean, obviously, I've only got one at the moment and I'm going to fish with one rod.
Yeah.
And get used to it, but yeah, enjoying the casting bit. Now put it into fishing.
Just good fun, isn't it?
First bait out on a multiplier. The porpoises are showing.
Yeah, we've got some. We've got porpoise out there, but the camera in that area there is a porpoise. 2 or 3 actually now. And that's a really good. Did you see how far I put mine out?
Yeah.
It's over 100 yards, wasn't it?
Well, look at that, mate. That's 300.
He's not gone 300. he's not got a badge yet. But yeah, he looks like. Yeah, I'm loving it, Rich. Loving it.
I just, like you say, it's about the feel of them. And although I fished with fixed spools for 30 years, the thing is with a multiplier, only you can get it wrong.
Yeah.
With a fixed spool, you can hit the best cast and still get a massive crack off and all sorts of things because the reels are on this big spool.
100%.
The line's coming off.
You've no control of it in wind.
Especially in the wind or anything really. If you've not stretched the leader out, whatever. But these, as long as you control them, they won't let you down.
No, I love them.
Probably birdie it next cast.
Yeah. They'll cast to the moon and the moon will catch it for you and just whack it everywhere. But no, I love it.
They're lovely, they're lovely. They're light as well.
Yep.
Simple.
And they feel more comfortable with the beach casters, don't they?
Yeah, they're getting used to, winding in and things like that. But
you just get a little bit tedious, that winding in, but it's all the other bits that just outweighs that little thing,
And you get a nice fish on, you can feel it.
So
more.
Rich is using a tip Tornado from Century. Got Century. No, he's usually got Century cap and stuff on. Have you got that? He's a little Century boy. Well,
it's a Century tip Tornado match, and it's a Mark 1 old school, probably about 25 years old.
Yeah, but it's still good reels and rods and stuff. And you've got the Billy who I like to watch. You've got All Hail the 525. All Hail the 525.
The red 525.
It's got red 525 to match the rod as well, which I do like. I've got to be honest, I do like. And it's nice. It looks cool, mate. It looks professional.
Yeah, it doesn't have the mag knob on it. But for me it's fine. It's on three clicks off at the moment.
Yeah.
So that's fine for me.
I'm starting to take my mags off now, slowly but surely. I was on the field the other night and I can't. Literally, I ran out of field. I did run out of field. Which is a good thing, but I didn't want my legs in somebody's back garden. The Wendy house and the greenhouse were up for destruction.
Oh, yeah,
It would have been like came in like a wrecking ball.
Yes. You wouldn't have been the.
No, they wouldn't have liked me.
But it's filling up nicely now.
It's beautiful. It's a beautiful evening. It's overcast.
It looks very ray and flatfish.
Yeah, I was talking about that before. Hopefully we can pick something up. Yeah. So I'm old school. You're old school.
Yeah.
Ish.
Oldish school, middle school.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one.
One more half a crab out for a bit, and then I think we switch over and look for the rays.
I think so. Well, I'm on worm and fish bait.
The worm will pick up rays, yeah. Black worm, they love it.
You never know, do you? You never know. So, right, gonna carry on fishing, and it's good to see Rich here again. Outfished me massively last week, didn't you?
Eh?
Last week you outfished me massively. I got a tiny little fish, and
well, it's still a nice place.
Yeah, place is a place, and this happens to be Cleveleys.
Well, no, we are still the back end of Cleveleys, what they call the south end of 5 Bar.
Yeah. Oh well, I've got the camera on the go, and let's see if we can catch a fish now. Happy days. Rods are set up. There we go. High tide tonight is 9:30. We've got a fish. What time is it now? 7:30 till, I would say, 10:30, maybe 11 o'clock, and I'll make my way home. Get myself straight, unorganised. All good fun. Now, once the tide comes up, and I'm on that part up there, where the bag is, I'm going to fish down into that gully with a worm, not very far out, not very far out. And the other rod is going to be fished at range, about 100-150 yards, thereabouts, onto the actual sandbar, and that's what we're going to do with that. And hopefully we can snag a fish. Hopefully. Only time will tell. The first bait I'm putting out is some stinky black that I've had out the freezer. But I've got some fresh lug that I'm going to use a little bit later on. When it's a little bit higher. Give it another hour before I use that. I don't want to burn all my good bait first. I always bring far too much bait, if I'm honest. Anyway, comment below, how much bait do you take for a session? What do you like to fish? Where do you like to fish? Do you fish in the northwest? It'd be good to hear from you. Just comment below. Don't forget, listen, little reach out. On that side, down there, just there, look close, just look. Don't ignore me, look, just there. There's a subscribe button and a bell notification. It doesn't cost you anything, it's free. Every time I'm up, I've got a video up, I don't ask often, but every time it's up, just subscribe. Please, just, it helps. More reach you get, it's brilliant. I don't ask for much, I really don't, but just please. Oh, starts to get darker now. Oh, getting absolutely hammered by, I don't know what they are, rockling or whiting, small stuff, just tapping away at the rods. So I'm going to drop hook sizes in a minute or two. A little bit smaller diameter, a little bit of less of a gape in the hook, but there's not a lot happening with them regarding bending right over with a fish here. Rich is having the same issues, to be fair. And my little rig station on the go there still, you can see, just there. Just want this to go. That looks like it's tapping on my left hand rod. Nothing definitive yet. Don't know if you can see that or not. Come on. I prefer fishing at a night time over daytime, I've got to be perfectly honest. I never thought that would be the case in sea fishing, but I really do. We've now got a fine mist coming down, no wind. It's looking really good. This is the kind of sea now I'd love to lure fish and put a lure out. Maybe a top water lure, Pachenko or something like that. Still struggling for that bite. We're getting knocks but not definitive bites. Do you know what? I love this sea fishing, I do. The new head torch as well is still doing the business. I'm happy with it. Let's just change the light on that. There we go, seemed a bit better. Oh, actually it's quite nice. The red on the white actually looks really nice. It looks red. Well, it will do, it's a red torch, isn't it? Stupid comment, but if I can just show you. Oh. There. That's all quite nice, that. Who knew? Who knew? What a beautiful evening. Absolutely beautiful. I'm loving this. So what we're going to do, we're going to change my rig to my left hand rod and my right hand rod now. I want to fish. So I'm going to change it and cast out. The casting's coming on now. I'm about 120, 130 on the multiplier without even trying properly. Which is kind of my maximum distance with the 7 or 8 ounce leg with a fixed spool. So I understand now why multipliers are more prevalent. Don't need to go that far, you can just go in the margin, but I'll get 0 bird's nest now, a full control. I feel like I'm sea fishing, to be fair. I really do. Right, let's put this down and then do some fishing. Oh, it's quite tough going. I've had a few knocks. Rich has had a small doggy. His first doggy, he's put it back now. His first doggy and his multiplier. Go on there.
I know.
I know, you're happy about that.
I think it's fair because I think your first sea fish is usually a doggy, isn't it?
It is. So to get your first fish on a multi.
Yeah, chuffed a bit.
Happy days.
Little squid and sardine, tiny little sandeel sized bait, yeah.
It's a beautiful evening though. I've not had a fish yet myself.
Well, I just think at any minute, you know, we're on high now, aren't we?
Yeah.
Pretty much. So.
Right, and I have gone changed my baits over now. I've gone dropped into that gully with worm, see what happens, and I've gone one on fish bait like you have. But on the sandbar, hopefully a ray comes over or maybe a doggy, you don't know. It's quite quiet. There's not many people down the beach. You only see about 2 or 3 head torches, and we've got a mist over, haven't we? A little mist.
Yeah, there's a few far end of 5 bar up on the promenade tip.
Yeah.
And then there's a few head torches down Cleveleys way.
Not that many people out, to be fair.
No, not the best. Yeah, the tides are building now, so every day is getting better.
Yeah.
But yeah, we shall see.
Yeah.
Another hour and a half anyway.
It's a big difference though, to be fair, when you started fishing again, to see like 2.5 years ago. What you're fishing with now and how you're fishing, massive difference.
Yeah, massive.
I've changed all my kit. I've gone over from fixed spools to multis myself and old-fashioned rods, abus that I picked up because I realised that the new stuff I wasn't happy with. So I've got to be perfectly honest. And I say that with authority because I keep on banging on about this to people. I used to make rods, and the new rods I don't like. They're not actually fishing rods.
I don't think anything made in the last 10 years is made like it should be, or you know, they cut corners, don't they?
And that's why people are buying the Centuries, they're buying the Ziplex, they're buying well, the old Abus are still knocking it about. Zolkrons, they're the new ones, aren't they? They're new ones.
They're newer, but yeah, it seems to be favourites among a lot of people that fish. I think when you fish 2-3 times a week, you need kit that doesn't let you down. You don't want whippings coming off, you don't want reel seats failing.
No. It's nice to have new rods, but if I've switched over to older rods and multipliers, which are 30 years old now, aren't they? They're not new, are they? 20, 30 year old. Yeah. And 525s aren't the latest ones? No,
they're not the latest. They're the blue ones. Are
the latest ones. They're the red ones.
5, 10 years old. I don't know. But they do the job for me at the moment. You know, I'm not getting the distance I was with the fixed spool, but that's going to come. You know.
Oh, there you go. It's in. Let's just have a set liner.
Woo! And remember to take the ratchet back off. Don't know what that was.
It's a ray. This looks good.
It was on, bumped over. I think it's come off.
Is it?
Yeah, it bumped over like a ray. Boom, boom.
Oh, that's a shame. Let's see what comes in. Might be a waiting.
Oh, it's a really heavy fish.
Yeah, I've seen it. I watched it. We all watched it. What's going on here now?
Well, we'll tell
been had?
It's been had, but maybe it's just picked it up and dropped. I don't know.
It could have been anything. That
Get it back out there.
Fish on. Carry on. Yeah, that wasn't a doggy. That was something bigger. That you can just the rod doubled over. I'm going to look at mine now. See if we've got anything knocking on mine. Fish out there, we've just got to catch him, haven't we? Right, I'm going to put the camera away now, and if I get anything I'll get back to you, because turn that off, it's raining a little bit. Don't get the camera get wrecked, to be honest, so hey ho. Bit of an update. High mark now, watermark, high tide. Gone completely now on to 2 fish baits, pennel, rig, pulley. Got a few knocks on that already. A lot of small stuff knocking about. They're not taking the worm, not even had a touch on worm. Got a few knocks, but so annoying. Sometimes it just looks all right for you, and Richard's had a doggy, so we've seen a fish and he's lost one. I just need mine now to actually boom over like a banana, and I'll be an happy boy. I really will. Come on, Mr. Ray, or a doggy or something a bit bigger. I just want something a bit bigger, that's all I want. I'm not asking much, am I? Tell me, am I asking too much? Am I really asking too much? Now if somebody walked past me on the beach and see me talking to myself like this, they'd really lock me up. They'd absolutely throw away the key, because they don't know I'm talking to you. And they don't know I'm talking to you because I look like a raving moron talking to myself, don't I, Rich?
Sound like one, yeah?
Yeah. So if somebody see me on the beach, yeah. I'm down here and there's nobody here and I was talking, yeah, they'd run.
Well, they could think you might be making an alternative video.
An alternative video, yeah.
Get a lot of views with that, wouldn't you?
I'd get more subscribers than I would doing this shit.
This is true, yeah.
So, yeah.
Upsetting that, but it proves something up larger than dogfish are here.
Yeah, me. Oh dear. Yeah. So I'm on the fish baits now. I need to get the bells back on my rods, because when I'm filming, to be honest, it's a bit difficult because
you can set your ratchet.
I know, but it's not the same, is it?
Well, you would do if it zipped off.
Yeah, but if it was like, yeah. Let's just have a look at mine now. Head torch is doing fine. If there's anything positive out of that?
Mine's right. Yeah, that's what it wants to.
Does it? Ah, that's not good, is it? Right, okay, right.
Come on now.
Yeah, come on. He has a temp. Yeah, I like this beach. It's one of my favourite beaches. It's not just that, I've not got far to walk from my car as well.
The open sea though, isn't it? You know, they could be here 1 minute on one side and not another.
This is very true.
You know, who knows what's out there?
Who knows? What I do know is I've got some cheese and onion pasties in the van, so I might have them in a bit. Yeah, that's the one. I don't know if I told you this, but I contacted one of the directors, Abu, because I wasn't too sure the rods that I'm using, whether I could get hold of some new ones, and then it's only when they told me that them pen now, so it's the pen rods and reels. But I just wish they brought these kind of things back out again. Comment below, do you think they should brought back the old Premiers and the Cerberans and the yeah, the old style Abu kit. To bring it back and drop the pen, or just bring it back pen, servering, or whatever it is, or because these rods are bloody fantastic. So I've got for a Premier, which was a very expensive rod, the Serverin Beach, and I've got the, can't think of the name of them, I think they're called the Specimens. I think so. And then there was the Match as well, I think. But all very good rods, all getting on a bit, but do you know, I can't fault them. Really can't fault them. I may get the 525s when I can afford it. The Pen 525s. Hail. 525s. Hail. I may get them. And keep these Abu's 6500s, the Elite and the high speed for backups, or just use them as a second set of rods. Who knows? Who knows? Nobody will know. That undercarriage thing, I like using that. That the new undercarriage thing there. Off an eBay special. 20 quid delivered. Can't complain at that. And I need a bigger tripod because I've got the Ingold's tripod, 5 foot. Alright for in the van or in the car, but it just needs to be a bigger tripod. It's dinky. It is dinky. I need a 7 foot one, so that's another purchase. But I might get the Parker one from VMO. Oh! Something got then on the rod. I'm going to let that progress. I'm going to let that progress. Sitting on my hands. I used to do carp fishing, I still do carp fishing, but sometimes you have a little twitch and a liner. Just to sit on your hands and see what happens, let that progress. Oh, there we go. I don't know what that is, but there's definitely something there. Sit on my hands, Mr. G. Sit on your hands. Let's watch that progress. That was like a whiting knock or something. I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to let it carry on. And this is the moment when you're thinking, should I have hit that? Should I have taken that? Comment below, would you have hit that, or would you just let it roll like this? Because I'm hoping that's a bigger fish. I'm hoping it's going to hook itself. There we go, a bit of a knocking again. Not sure. Got one of those, Rich, where you don't know whether to hit it or not. Every now and again I'll get a nice little rattle on it. I'm just letting it progress. Right hand rod on the Premier with a white tip. I've had a 3 knocks on it now, but nothing, it could be anything that. That's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping there is a race set on it. It'll just curve over when it moves on. Yeah, I'm hoping so. Yeah, I'm not watching it just yet. I'm just going to feel a line. I think a little bit of tightening up at the tip.
Sometimes it will then kick back and you know it's on. It's tight. That kicks back.
It is, you can see it, yeah.
So, any time now.
On the left hand rod a little bit,
yeah,
little. See it? Oh, come on! I don't want to say rubber sausage either.
The thing is, when you don't have a lot of movement, you can see the bites can be very sharp.
Yeah.
We've got this flat, which is rest.
So if there was anything on that right hand rod, it would still be feeding on that, wouldn't it?
Well, sometimes they can just lay on, they can be up to sit down.
Yeah, I've had that. I've reeled in sometimes, it's been efficient.
Yeah, it's a bonus.
You get that with whiting, don't you? Yeah, a couple of some dabs, yeah. A place I've had that replace, real replacing. Right, I'm going to put the camera down, and I'm going to try and I'm going to reel in that right rod and see what it's like. That's what I'm going to do. Oh, wow. Well, that wasn't I enjoyed that. Don't get me wrong, I enjoyed it. I learnt a lot. I didn't particularly catch anything. Had some knocks. And it was all good. Rich had a dogfish, lost a fish. And it's good to do that. It's good to try and catch fish. And now the whole purpose of this van comes into its own. It all comes into its own, so I can clean myself up. I don't fancy driving home tonight, so I'm going to set off about 6 in the morning, jump in from the back of the van, get out of bed, set my alarm, drive home, go to work. And that's what I used to do when I was carp fishing. So what's the difference now from sea fishing? Take the torch off. Car keys up there. Make myself a drink of tea, maybe some supper. Oh, get rid of that. My word, fishing's fun. It is. It's fun. I'm trying to find what I've done with. Got the trainers to put on now. Oh, I wish I could stay here all week. I can't. I've got too much to do. I've got to earn money. I've got to feed my family. I've got to do all the things that everybody has to do. At least I've got a sink to get cleaned up and tidied up in. I'm going to park up. Not on the front here. You're not allowed to stay here overnight. You're meant to be gone for 10 o'clock. It's currently 11 o'clock. I'll better check my windscreen, see if I've got a ticket or not. I don't think you get tickets, but it's worth checking, isn't it? I love it. Let's go get settled down. Right, cleaned up, tidied up, time for bed. So I'm gonna get my head down, get up in the morning and see what happens with that day. It might be another vlog, it might be an extended of this vlog, so either way, see you soon.